Hiya, hiya, this is Johnny from Green Herb Gaming back with some more Spyro Reignited Trilogy gameplay. Still trying to complete Wild Flight, special stage in the Beast Maker's world. It's extremely difficult. So I hope everyone enjoys the live stream, my lovely subscribers, my viewers. Speaking of my subscribers, a shout out to some of my lovely subscribers right now: Pro Chronix Vlogs, L4 Electricity Kid, Epic Kid 23, DLA, Damien Sewell, Alan Sewell, Black Knight the Gamer, Aidan Denniston, Hamino Games, Chad Middleton, Jackson D, and to all of my other lovely subscribers. So shout out to all of you. And I hope My Picks Gaming, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Welcome. Hope you enjoy. So yeah, I am playing Spyro. I'm trying to play Spyro Reignited Trilogy. This is, once again, this is the Wild Flight bonus level of Beast Makers. Fourth world of this game. You are very early. You are less than 2 minutes into the stream. So perfect timing, Manpix Gaming. Oh, God. So, My Picks Gaming, how are you? Miss Chess, there it is. That's good. I can see you love this game. I love Spyro the Dragon so much. Ah, no. Spyro the Dragon, Mind Picks Gaming. One of my many childhood games. I have a lot of childhood games, as I spoke about in one of my earlier streams, because my childhood as a gamer, spans from the age of about, I'd say probably 5 all the way up to about 13, 14. You and my dad are the same with remastered old games. It's amazing. Yeah, it's great with these remasters for people like us who grew up playing these games. It's great to go out and buy the remasters and to be reminded of how much of an amazing game this is. Yeah, it's a great thing about remasters. But yeah, it's Spyro the Dragon, one of my many childhood games, and as I was saying, like my childhood as a gamer would span from he got hyped with Crash Bandicoot. I was more of a Spyro guy, but I did eventually get Crash Bandicoot in the same trilogy, but I was more of a Spyro guy than a Crash guy, yeah. But yeah, I mean, as a gamer, as a child gamer, like it would have been from the age of about 5 up to 14, so you can, like, I have a lot of childhood games, and one of those childhood games is Spyro the Dragon, and it all started on the PlayStation 1. I got the PlayStation 1 for Christmas. I would have been about 10 or 11. So I got it for him. Oh, that's a lovely story. Oh my God, I love that. That is actually just so nice. That is just, I like that, I love that. I mean, he must have been so happy. This level is unbelievably difficult. But yeah, I mean, I got the PlayStation 1 when I was about, did the PS Classic release in your country already? It did, and to be quite honest with you, it can stay released because I've heard a lot of bad things about it. It's meant to be poorly done, basically. The emulator is meant to be terrible. Like, the games are emulated so bad, and there's a lot of games that are missing on it as well. Like, you know, you think of the PlayStation, and some of the games that come to mind are, as we mentioned, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Gran Turismo. So many games are missing on it. It's and yeah, it did get released in Ireland, yeah. But as I said, it can stay released. I've no intention of buying it anytime soon, to be honest. I mean, I'm a huge PlayStation fan. As I just said, I got the PlayStation 1 for Christmas when I was about 10 or 11. Played amazing games on that console. Damn it! Keep missing that chest. And yeah, and one time my dad gave me his old PS1 games, and they are amazing. That's lovely. And yeah, I mean, some of those games are absolutely amazing. I mean, the PlayStation 1 is my second favourite console of all time, because just the amount of video game franchises that I was introduced to for the first time that would become some of my favourite video game series of all time. It's just amazing. You're talking about Final Fantasy, you're talking about Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, three of my favourite video game franchises of all time. I was introduced to Spyro the Dragon for the first time on PlayStation. As I said, one of my many childhood games. So yeah, I love Spyro the Dragon so much. And it is nice to have these remasters, as you said. It's nice to be able to go back to a game that you grew up playing, looking, you know, so amazing. Also, a few days ago, I got a Razer mouse. I don't know what that is, but I know it's a mouse, obviously. But cool. I take it it's a gamer mouse. But yeah, man, Spyro the Dragon, I could play this game for years and years and years to come, and I would never get bored of it. Do you know what I would say about Spyro the Dragon and games like Spyro the Dragon? We all have a favourite game, or favourite games. It's just very hard to yeah, and I was damn, that's a pretty expensive mouse. Damn, it better be a good mouse if it costs that amount of money. Damn. But everyone has favourite games. I find it very hard to limit that to one game. I always, you know, when people say, "What's a New Blitz?" This is so funny. This is so funny. New Blitz 74. This is so funny. I was hoping you would join my earlier stream today, because you remember that level that I was stuck on, Treetops? Well, I finally got past it, and all thanks to your help as well, New Blitz. All thanks to your help. It did take me quite a while to figure out what exactly you were trying to tell me, but I did nonetheless get there. I took your advice and I completed it. So thank you so much for that advice, New Blitz. finally got past treetops. Now I'm stuck on this. Now this is okay because this is what it is basically. I know what to do. It's just a matter of getting it done basically. So there's no kind of yeah, I'd be stuck on this for a while, but I know what needs to be done. But as I was saying, Spyro the Dragon is one of my favourite games because it's impossible. Like if you're a gamer who plays a lot of games, and I mean a lot of games, it's hard. It's impossible to Green Herb Gaming. Green Herb Gaming's OGs will remember. Green Herb Gaming's OGs will remember. No need. Dude, glad you got it. No, just thank you so much because that no, just like I was so happy when they finally got past it. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't possibly pick one game as my favorite game. I just have favorite games. I don't have a top 10 or a top 5 or a top 3. I just have games I like, and this would be Spyro the Dragon. I would put into a list of games I really like as in favorite games. No, what was the point that I was trying to make again? Right, the point I'm trying to make is, okay, there's something very different about having a favourite game, playing a favourite game and playing the cool game, playing the latest game. I have been here before 100, and I supported your channel ever since the first stream I watched last year. I actually remember that 100%, and MindPix Gaming, I thank you so much for your support, just like I thank all of my supporters. You might hear me giving like other supporters like shout outs and stuff a lot, but like there's specific reasons for that, and I want you to know why there's reasons for that too, because when I look at my subscriber numbers, I don't see numbers, I see real people, and every one of you represents something different. You know, every one of you represents something different. You know, some people have been on my channel before others. Some people like to bring a bit of humour to my channel. Some people like to chat more on my channel. Some people, you know, some subscribers show support in different ways, and you're all different. So when I kind of, you know, give shout outs, well, to be honest, I give everyone a shout out. All of my shout outs are regular subscribers, people who regularly join my stream, and you're one of them, MindPix Gaming, as well, you know. I guess we have, I guess we are the, wait now, we are, yeah, definitely, sorry, I was like YT, definitely, 100%, MindPix Gaming, 100%. Sorry if I sound a bit off, I'm just a bit tired. What was I trying to say about, yeah, favourite game? This is a game that I will play for years and years to come, and I will not get bored of it because it's one of my favourite games. And when it gets remastered, you know, I go back and I say, oh, this is one of my favourite games that got remastered. So I had a point that I was trying to make, and now it's gone. Now it's gone. I think what I was trying to do is tell the difference between one of your favourite games that you genuinely love to play and just a cool game that gets released. Like, you know what I mean, a popular game that gets released. That you might necessarily, like, everyone else plays it, so you kind of feel like, okay, this is a cool game, everyone has it. But to be honest with you, not everyone I had had Spyro the Dragon. I was about to remind you about my latest video, but then I remembered you watched it. I did, yeah, I did. No problem, man. Also happy. Oh, thank you so much, MindPix Gaming. Many happy returns to you. Many happy returns. So man, good. So many good games now. But here's the thing. You know how big Fortnite of a game is? A huge game, right? Fortnite takes over the world. And how true is it to say that is like if someone turned around and said that's my favorite game, how true could that be? Or is it just the fact that it's a popular game and you like to play popular games? Do you know what I'm trying to say there? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think there's a difference between one of your favorite games and a game that just happens to be a cool and popular game that you just want to play because everyone else does. You know, I mean, I certainly didn't play Spyro the Dragon because everyone else was. I'm trying to back away from Fortnite. When I hear things like that, I don't know if it was actually you that I was actually having this conversation with. I forget who I was actually having this conversation with, but they were actually, I think they were trying to tell me basically that they were addicted to the game. I don't know if it was you, but it was somebody I was chatting to anyway. That concerns me when I that, like, you're trying to back away from Fortnite. That to me sounds like oh yeah, it was you. So yeah, I mean, when someone says that, I'm trying to back away from Fortnite, it's like that to me sounds like somebody saying I'm trying to give up cigarettes. Honestly, to me that sounds exactly the same. Like I'd never ever turned around to anybody and said I'm trying to back away from Spyro, or I'm trying to back away from Resident Evil, or I'm trying to back away from Metal Gear Solid. I've never heard myself saying that. I've never heard other people say that about other games that are less popular than let's say Fortnite. I've never heard that before. I've never heard someone saying I'm trying to back away from this. I think it's concerning that a game can be that popular and it can be that addictive. And I really question some of these players who say, oh, it's my favourite game. I really question that. Just how true is that? Like, is what I ask. How true is that? Like, I can definitely tell you that Spyro the Dragon is one of my favourite games of all time because I remember playing that as a kid. I'm not an adult. I remember playing this as a kid on the PlayStation when I got it for Christmas when I was a young kid. And I still play this game many years later because it is genuinely one of my favourite games of all time. So when I hear people say that, oh, Fortnite is my favourite game of all time, I really get sceptical about it. I really, really do. And it also genuinely concerns me when I hear you and people like you saying I'm trying to back away. Because exactly, you know, like, but here's the thing, like, I like some of the amount of hours that people have put into Fortnite is absolutely insane. I mean, the only game that I can think of that I put like hundreds of hours into playing would have been Animal Crossing. But the difference between Animal Crossing and Fortnite, and there's huge differences between Animal Crossing and Fortnite. Animal Crossing had like a real-time calendar in the game, as in like it had real time, as in if it was the 1st of January 2019 at 6 p.m. it would be the 1st of January 2019 6 p.m. in the game. And there was so much happening in Animal Crossing as well. There was various type of events and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a completely different game. But that game, Animal Crossing, is a game that I put hundreds of hours into. Omnimisha Warlords is out. Yeah, you're right. That's actually a game that I've never played before, but I've heard good things about it. Another reason, sorry, I'm going to read your comment. Another reason because I broke my headset over it. Jesus, man. Jesus, I played some frustrating games in my time, and I've had plenty of gamer rage over my time, but I don't think I've ever smashed a headset or a controller. I don't know. I'm just saying right now that Fortnite, first of all, it concerns me. That game concerns me. It's the amount of people who are point blank addicted to that game. It's just concerning. So I'm going to get a new one. Damn. Yeah, I think I started off by saying like the difference between having a favourite game and just playing a game that you kind of like playing, and it's a game that everyone else around you plays, and you know, that kind of a thing. Yeah. So so yeah, basically I do love this game. Yeah. Because it's my childhood game, and I remember playing this game as a kid on the PlayStation, and I kind of there's a certain level of proudness as well. I feel proud, if that makes sense. I kind of feel proud of that fact, you know, because I can remember all those years ago on the original PlayStation, when I was young, Watch Dogs was my favourite game. Yeah, I actually played that game. That's actually a good game. This level, man, is just so frustrating. No, it's GTA 5. I remember GTA before it became online. You know, that's how old I am. I remember playing the original Grand Theft Auto. In fact, it was one of the first games I played on PlayStation 1 alongside Spyro the Dragon. And that's also, GTA is also one of my favourite video games of all time. But obviously, like, there was no online back then, and you know, like, it wasn't a thing back then, you know. So oh damn it. Yeah, that's so I grew up with GTA. It was one of the first PlayStation games I played. Absolutely, still do. I still have it. I can go back and I can play the original GTA right now if I wanted to. To be honest, once I saw your stream on GTA, I wanted it. Good lord, I actually can't even remember doing a stream. Did I do a stream of GTA 5? Did I stream GTA 5? Holy shit, man. You've definitely been around for a long time. Holy hell. I can't even remember doing that. I cannot remember streaming GTA 5. Damn. That was so long ago. I actually traded that game in because I had a bad experience of the online. I just felt like, oh, Vice City. I was wondering, Vice City. Yeah, man, one of the classic GTA games, which I actually prefer, to be honest. I'm just an original gamer. Like, I'm an original. I mean, I've been there since the start of gaming. You know, gaming has become so mainstream now and trendy and cool and popular and all that, and online and you know, all this, and yeah, man. I mean, I'm coming in from the perspective of an original guy. I don't play GTA Online because the lag, because the lag. So yeah, man, I've been playing gaming before lag. The only thing that would, what was the thing that would, like, what was my thing like back then? Because we didn't have like lag to worry about. We didn't have online issues to worry about. Do you know what? Do you know what we had to worry about? The CD being scratched or something, or the the disc jumping or something. Like you'd be in the middle of a game, like, and the next time the music would go off or something like that. Or you'd be playing Resident Evil, and you try to open the door, and it would just basically, like, it wouldn't get past the door screen, and you'd open the tray of the PlayStation and close it again, and your problem would be fixed. That's all we had to worry about. And even before discs became a thing, when we were playing cartridges on, like, Sega Mega Drive, Nintendo 64, if the game didn't work, man, we just take it out and blow into it, even though it didn't do anything. Well, that's tough. No, that wasn't really as bad as lag, because, you know, things were a lot more calmer back then. You know, when you're playing online, like, you're all about, oh, I want to get so many kills in, and I want to get a good score, or whatever the shit. It wasn't really, like, compared to lag and stuff like that. No, it wasn't that bad. Like, that's all we really had to contend with back then. And as I pointed out, on cartridges then, like, we'd put in the cartridge, and if it didn't work, we'd blow it. But even though, like, blowing wouldn't do anything, it was just something we thought would actually help. But it's great. And yeah, and then scratched CDs, just give it a wipe. What I would do is I kind of, like, I would kind of just give it a wipe with a cloth or something like that, and it would be grand. Most of the time, anyway, it would be grand. But yeah, I just look at the many changes in gaming today, and I just later I'm going to go back in time. Mindfix Gaming is going back in time. You heard it here live in Green Hill Gaming. In your channel. Whoa, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. By the way, thank you so much for your support. I mean, it really means a lot that you're interested. You know, that you're interested in my channel, and that you would actually do that. Again, sorry if I sound off. I'm just very tired. And then, you know, so I don't mean to bore you by keep talking about, like, gaming cast, but it's just, I don't know, I suppose when you get to my age and you've been playing games for as long as I have, and you've seen the amount of changes that I've had, you'd be kind of the same as me, really. I mean that I'm going to watch, I know that, I know, but yeah, I've just seen so much change in the video game industry, and specifically, like, video games that I grew up playing have changed so much. And one of those games is Grand Theft Auto, and I now look around and I see the kids, and not just kids, like, but, you know, just kind of like young adults, you know, and they're just, like, it's all about GTA Online, and you're going online later to play GTA, and it's like, I don't know, such a different time. Such a different time. You know, I remember just playing GTA single player on my own, and just having my own personal experiences with that game. And then, you know, then I socially interact with my friends. I would have an actual social life where I would actually go out of my house, you know, outside of my house, and, you know, hang around with my friends in the real world, and talk about Grand Theft Auto, and say, oh, I completed this mission in Grand Theft Auto, and this happened to me in Grand Theft Auto. It's now gotten to a situation where people don't even leave their house, and they're just on the headset, like 3-4 hours, and they're playing GTA Online. And look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that I'm just analysing the change. That's all I need to do. A lot of people might think that I'm being bitter or toxic or bashing or whatever else. It's not that. It's just that I'm just absorbing and analysing the changes, you know, that I see in the video game industry, and I've seen a lot of those changes. I used to play GTA Vice City on my channel before it had 20 subs. Such a great game, Vice City, and it's a shining example of, you know, how good, and in my opinion, better classic GTA games are. And it's just, Well, I think what makes me laugh too is there's still people in 2018, and these are people who are fairly like reasonably old now, like, you know. I don't mean old as in fucking seven. What I'm saying is these are people who are like who should know better, you know, in 2018, and they still go on about like graphics. They're still talking about graphics. Oh, but the graphics are still in Vice City. I'm like, please, like, if you grow up, like, I mean, seriously, like, it's not the graphics that made these games good. And if that's what Rockstar think is going to sell GTA 6, well, they're fucking sadly mistaken. Then again, like, I suppose when you have such a dedicated fan base and you've got such a massive brand power, I suppose you could do whatever the hell you want. You know, you could just make it into an interactive movie and these fans will go out and buy it. I don't know, I mean, times have changed. Times have changed, but I can tell you one thing that hasn't changed, and that's my love for my favourite video game, including Spyro the Dragon. That's one thing that will not change. I mean, this is one of my favourite games of all time, and that will never change. What did you think about... I'm going to get something, actually, I'm going to get to a point, actually, in a minute. What did you think about graphics when you started the gaming? You know what? I thought nothing of them. Absolutely nothing of them. Graphics wasn't even in my vocabulary, Mindpix Gaming. Graphics, because you did say it started. When I started playing video games, I didn't even use the word graphics. Graphics were not something that came out of my mouth. The first time I interacted with a video game system, I was blown away by the fact that, whoa, I can actually play this thing. I can actually interact with this thing that's on my TV screen. I didn't even know what a video game was. I didn't even call it a video game. It was just this thing that I had. Then I would get the Sega Master System. But to answer your question, I didn't think anything of graphics. It just wasn't something that came into my mind or came out of my mouth. I think graphics started to become a thing probably around the Nintendo 64 PlayStation era for me. I think that's when I started talking about graphics. But I think, you know, yeah, I think before that, like, I mean, the very first video game system I played was I think called the TV Boy, which I showed and spoke about in an earlier stream. Then I had to take a Master System, then to take a Mega Drive. But I think once I got the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64, that's when I started talking about graphics. Now it's so different, isn't it? It's like nowadays, and I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked that they would. I mean, look how amazing games look now. I'm shocked that people discuss graphics in 2019. I'm shocked that, you know, that people like over the age of 15 are actually still talking about graphics. I'm shocked. And even young kids, I'm shocked, because they don't know how lucky they are. They absolutely, the game world has changed. But I'm shocked that kids even have to discuss graphics. I mean, they have no idea how lucky they are. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, you seriously, honestly now need graphics better than that. Does anybody need graphics better than Red Dead Redemption 2? I mean, seriously. But like, but again, I mean, another thing as well that I want to talk about is how far, as you pointed out, the gaming world has changed, and it has moved forward from graphics. We've seen motion control introduced in the gaming industry, touchscreen, and now with Nintendo Switch, you are able to play your games anywhere, anytime. You have streaming now. You know you have the even the push of online gaming. The gaming world has changed. It's went beyond graphics. It's not about, you know, look at how cool this game looks anymore. It's about, look at how this game is played. Look at who's playing this game. Stuff like that. But I'm just imagine games with graphics like seeing out. But that's yeah. Yeah, I mean it is pretty cool too, I suppose. think about how realistic a game can become, but like, isn't that then though defeating the purpose of the game? Isn't that not defeating the purpose of the game, but like, isn't it like a game is something that has an objective? Like right now, my objective is to break 8 chests, go through 8 arches, blow up 8 planes and boats, and complete this level. That's my objective right now, right? So like, do I really care how realistic Spyro looks? Do I really care about frames per second right now? I don't really care about frames per second right now. I don't care how realistic. I can't afford to even look at Spyro right now, because if I did, I'd get distracted. So I don't get why people are so interested in graphics. The only things I care about are gameplay, physics and storyline. Yeah, I would agree with you up until the part of physics. It depends what kind of game I'm playing. If I'm playing, yeah, but depending on the game I'm playing. But I would definitely agree with you on gameplay and storyline, definitely. Because I mean, if you're playing a game that is heavily focused on a story and it doesn't have much of a storyline, then I'm kind of going to be really disappointed. But it's gameplay is at its core, like the most important part of the game. There's nothing more important than gameplay, and I swear to God, like, I mean, it actually, like, when somebody, like, when a grown adult says to me that graphics are not, or that graphics are everything, and that I don't really care about gameplay, I mean, it's just so stupid to hear an adult say that. It is really stupid to hear an adult say that. And even, I don't know, I just think that everyone should agree, like, in this day and age, that the most important part of the game is the gameplay. I don't even think there should be a discussion anymore. I don't even think there should be an opinion anymore. I think it should be something that everyone just has to accept, that the most important part of the game is the gameplay. I used to like a game from 2010. Cool, what's the name of that game? My gaming years span from, I would say, probably 1992-ish. Oh, Mafia 2. I've heard great things about that game, actually. One of my buddies, one of my subscribers, Damien Sue, shout out to you right now. He loves that game so much. I mean, he would talk, and I think that is one of his favourite games as well. I spoke earlier about, you know, everyone has a favourite game, and I would say that is definitely one of his favourite games. So yeah, to get back to my original point, so I'm trying to keep this stream kind of more kind of talkative in gameplay, because it's so tough, and I'm going to be stuck in this for a long time, so I want to kind of keep talking basically. But yeah, I just think it's important for us to have a favourite game. You know, everyone plays Fortnite, so to me it's kind of stupid to turn around and say that's your favourite game. For anyone to say that's your favourite game, I think that's a bit stupid in my opinion. You know, I think it's important to have an identity. You know, it's important to have something that makes you stand out from the person next to you. You know, so to find that one game that you like, that nobody else likes, nobody else plays, you know, but the game that you like to play. I think that's something that we need to do. Otherwise, we're not more than a sheep, than a drone. No, my dad is starting to get into. Oh my God, that's absolutely hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. Jesus Christ. So you're moving away from Fortnite, but now your dad is playing it. Oh my fucking God, that's absolutely hilarious. So it's going to come to a stage where you're going to have to try to get him away from Fortnite. Oh, for God's sake, Jesus Christ. Tell him to play Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot or something. Christ almighty. Get him a PlayStation Classic if you have to. Oh my God. Just do not allow him to play Fortnite, whatever you do. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I played Fortnite and I enjoyed playing Fortnite, and I don't think it's a bad game. I just think that it's important. Like, I'm going to be. Oh my god, that's actually so funny. The gaming world it definitely has changed. Definitely has about how the gaming world has changed, and I just don't know sometimes how to word it. And I think sometimes what I have to say comes across as kind of toxic or hateful or whatever else, but it's not. I can promise you it's not. It's just, it's as I spoke about there in another stream, it's purely passion, basically. Passion for video games, and I just think that we all should have that one game that we, you know, that's our favourite game. One of my, this is a nice story, and I always like telling this story, and I always will tell this story. One of my favourite games is Super Mario 64, but it's also Pro Chronix Vlogs' favourite game. Pro Chronix Vlogs are one of my best subscribers and supporters. Cool dude, all out. Thankfully my dog can't play Fortnite. I love him. Otherwise everyone in your house will be playing Fortnite. But yeah, Super Mario 64 is also Pro Chronix Vlogs' favourite game. Even though, and I always spoke about this, even though we're from two completely different generations, because he's a lot younger than me, I'm not older than him, born in different generations. He played Super Mario 64 on the DS, but he also played it on the Nintendo 64 as well. He also played the original, but he did play a lot of Super Mario 64 on the DS. I played it on Super Mario 64. But that's a game that, you know, that's one of his favourite games. Now he'll play, like, he played out of Fortnite. He doesn't play anymore now. But like, you know, it's always nice to have that favourite game. Like, because I always, like, it was actually a funny moment where also you played in Season 2. I actually did play Fortnite in Season 2. You're right, actually, I did. I played Fortnite in Season 2 on PS4, yeah, before it came to Switch. But there was a funny moment, and I think this is where your favourite game comes. Like, no matter, I'm actually going to pause it right here, because this was actually a cool moment, and I actually want to talk about this moment in a proper way. So, this was where two people's favourite game just came out, and it defeated everything that was happening at that moment in time. Basically, myself and Pro Chronix Vlogs, we were playing Fortnite. There was two other people in the street, in the lobby as well. Okay, so we were playing. What the hell were we playing? We were playing. Jesus Christ, I haven't played it in a while now. I actually forget what it is. What the fuck is the mode where all your friends can play? Jesus Christ, my mind has gone blank. MyPix Gaming, help me out here. What was it called? What's that mode called where all your friends can play at the same time? Jesus Christ. Squads, thank you. Jesus Christ, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. So myself, Pro Chronix Vlogs, and I can't remember who else was in so I'm just going to say two other people. So basically there's four of us playing squads in Fortnite. So myself, Pro Chronix Vlogs, and two other people. And I put on, I was listening to the soundtrack from Super Mario 64. And basically, to cut a long story short, myself and Pro Chronix Vlogs ended up having a conversation about Super Mario 64 over the headset. And I mean, it went on for like, I would say like 15-20 minutes as the two of us talking about Super Mario 64, this game that we both grew up playing and we loved. And the two other guys were like, yeah, can we get back to playing Fortnite now? Can we get back to focusing on getting a win now? And we both thought it was quite funny, like how we just ended up talking about Super Mario 64, and the other two guys were kind of getting annoyed then, like, you know, that we were talking about that game. But it just goes to prove that you can play this immensely popular game, Fortnite, and have fun playing it, but you know, you can't deny your favourite game. You can't deny that one game that gave you so much memories playing, either growing up as a kid or just doesn't. You wouldn't have to be. It wouldn't have to be a titled game. I mean, you could buy a brand new game, you know, and it could become your favorite game. But I'm just saying that there's always going to be that game that's gonna completely overshadow these popular games. Well, I started season 3. I didn't even know I started in season 2, to be honest. Yeah, no more seasons now for me. No more seasons now for me. You know who I sound like? I don't know if you're into wrestling, Main Picks Gaming. I don't know if you're into wrestling. I'm no longer into wrestling. I used to be into wrestling. Who's the second viewer? I forgot who else was watching this stream. Who was the second viewer? Oh yeah, Nublets, are you still here? I was also wondering who the second viewer was, but yeah, just Spyro the Dragon on season 1. Spyro the Dragon in season 1. But I don't know if you're a fan of wrestling, if you're aware of wrestling, World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't watch wrestling anymore, but I used to watch these like shoot interviews, they're called, where like wrestlers of the present, past, would kind of basically like talk about like what's happening in the world of wrestling. Yeah, same here, man. I used to watch it a lot, but I don't watch it anymore. But you know, these shoot interviews where like a wrestler would talk about like what's going on in wrestling or what their views are of this other wrestler. I feel like I'm turning into Bret Hart. You know, when it comes to gaming, I feel like I'm turning into Bret Hart. Like I feel like I'm turning into this like bitter, toxic old man who's like, well, back in my day, you know, things weren't the way they are now, and you know, I kind of don't like the way Sony are doing things now, and yeah, if back in my day now, you know, things were a lot better. You know, I feel like I'm turning into the Bret Hart of gaming, and I don't like that, to be honest with you. I don't want to be that person. You know, I think we're all gamers. We're all gamers. If you're somebody who owns a PlayStation 4, and that's the only console you own, and it's the only console you want, and it's the only console you play, and you play Fortnite, you're a gamer. I know I said what I said in the other stream, but I take that back. You're a gamer. It doesn't matter. We're all gamers, and I don't want to come across as somebody who's saying, oh, well, I'm a better gamer than you because I have more games than you. Or I'm a better gamer than you because I have more consoles than you. Or I'm a better gamer because I play more than one console and you don't. I don't want to come across as that kind of a person. I really don't want to come across, because I'm not that kind of person. I think we're all we're all part of the gaming industry, and if you hold a controller in your hand and play a video game, then you are a gamer. It's that simple. I mean, you could have chose anything else to do. You know, you could have read a book, you could have done anything, but like if you hold a controller in your hand and you play a game and you're a gamer, all I'm doing is I'm getting to that age now where I realise how long I've been playing games. No gamer is better than another, sometimes. Yeah, you're so right, and I don't want to be the person who's like, I'm a better gamer than you because I have more games than you and I have more consoles than you, and I like to play more than one console and I like to play more than one game. I mean, the reality is there are gamers out there who just prefer to play the one console and who just prefer one type of game, and that's just the way it is. And I need to kind of, I suppose, accept that and understand that, and I always do. It's just sometimes I, you know, come across a bit different. So yeah, it's basically, I've come to that age now where I've realised I've been playing gaming for a long time and I've seen so much change in the industry, and I just try to digest all of it and kind of analyse all of the changes that has happened and kind of like react to it. Basically, all I'm basically trying to say is Spyro the Dragon for me is not Call of Duty. It's not Fortnite. It's not this popular, trendy game that everyone has and everyone is playing and you've got to have this game because, oh my god, it's so cool. Spyro the Dragon is my childhood game. I remember playing Spyro the Dragon as like a 10-year-old kid on the PlayStation 1 that I got for no, it's special for Christmas as a kid, and it's a fond game. It's a fond game that I fondly remember getting and playing and spending so much time playing. And you know, I was so fucking happy when, you know, it was confirmed that my beloved Spyro the Dragon was being remastered. I was so happy, and you know, getting that game and bringing it home and playing it. It was just, it was something else. Like, it was something totally, like, it was something completely, like, it was something else. It really was. And it still is. I still have to pinch myself sometimes, because it's kind of like pinch myself to realise that I'm actually playing Spyro the Dragon again. I mean, I love this game so much. And I'm just kind of absorbing the kind of the differences in gaming now. I want to see that. I want to see people having a favourite game again. Like, you know, I'm not saying everyone be me. Like, I know. I mean, I did play a popular games. Like, the only problem is I didn't know back then that those games were extremely popular. You know, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just gonna let people be. Like, let people be. I mean, let people enjoy the game if they want to enjoy it. It doesn't matter why they're playing that game. It's just whatever, you know. But yeah, I definitely don't want to become the Bret Hart of gaming, where I'm just bashing, you know, bashing a game or a console or a gamer. We're all gamers, as I pointed out already. We're all gamers. Oh God, this level is a bit on the tough side, isn't it? Damn. We try. I suppose what I'm saying is that the biggest difference I'm seeing right now is, okay, we've got these like very young kids, right? I'm talking like 6 or 7, who, you know, wake up on Christmas morning this year, well, last year actually. Once a gamer, always a gamer until you stop playing games. Probably true. But I'm kind of thinking of these like young kids, these very young kids. Like 6 or 7, who would have gotten their very first video game console Christmas 2080, Christmas just gone. And I'm thinking of, you know, them playing like Fortnite and even Minecraft for that matter, and even Call of Duty as well. And I just got one question: do you really see those games being around in 20 years' time? Do you really see Fortnite being a thing in 20 years' time? Do you really see Minecraft being a thing in 20 years' time? Or even Call of Duty, my headset came out there, sorry, being around in 20 years' time? I personally don't think so. So no, it's going to be dead. There you go. Whereas, and again, I'm not saying me, but like in my generation, see, I'm just comparing this generation to my generation. I'm just trying to think of this, you know, these young kids who are opening up their first console on Christmas morning, playing, you know, Minecraft, Fortnite, and Call of Duty on their PS4. And I'm just thinking, these are the games that are going to, these are the first memories they're going to have of gaming. Okay? these are going to be the first memories that they're going to have of gaming, and chances are they probably have not heard of, like, let's say, I don't know. I mean, they're a kid and they shouldn't be playing these games anyway, but look, I did back then, so it doesn't matter. They probably haven't heard of games like Mortal Kombat or Final Fantasy or other games that are not Fortnite, Minecraft and Call of Duty. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, like, I mean, what games are they going to play in 20 years' time? Whereas my generation grew up with games like Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, Mortal Kombat, Spyro the Dragon, and, you know, other games. And those games are still around. Grand Theft Auto, you know, they're still around. I mean, there's so many games that I grew up playing that are still around to this day. And I'm just kind of, I'm intrigued. I'm kind of intrigued by where will these games be in 15 years' time? Probably they don't know about Dora on the DS. But no, on a serious note, like, and it's funny because it's funny. It's actually where I actually made a video a while back there, and it was about is Nintendo for kids? You know, this thing that's this constant thing where people say Nintendo's only for kids. Well, what I find extremely, I actually forgot to mention this in the video, but one of the other things I find extremely funny is the very fact that kids play Nintendo consoles is the very fact of why Nintendo is so popular, and it's the very reason why their games sell. Chad Middleton, hello to you, man, and welcome to my live stream of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I hope you enjoy. I hope all is well. So I was actually talking a little bit, I'm just starting to talk actually about that video that I made about Nintendo for kids. There was something I actually forgot to mention that I also find extremely funny. The very fact that Nintendo make games that appeal to kids, and the very fact that those kids play those games, is the very reason and the very fact that Nintendo have the best first-party games in the world that sell extremely well to this day, because 5-year-old Jimmy back in 1980, who first opened up his NES and played Mario, is the same Jimmy who went out and bought Super Mario Odyssey 30 years later and made it the highest selling game, because little Jimmy remembered playing Mario as a kid and it was part of his childhood. Therefore, the older he got, there was more Mario games released over the years and he remembered playing those games. So there. I've been out all day. I bought a new Switch. Haha, lovely jubbly. And Sega CD, oh sorry, I read that wrong. Sega Collection played a bit also. Nintendo contribute to amazing. They do. And that's exactly it. That's exactly my point. They do, and that's why I'm concerned. I'm genuinely concerned for this younger generation of gamers now. You know, these like 6-year-old kids. What happened to the stream yesterday? I don't know actually. That was a strange one. These like 6-7-year-old kids who are unwrapping their very first video game consoles on Christmas morning, and they're playing Fortnite, and they're playing Minecraft, and they're playing Black Ops. Look, all fun games, but my bad, I cut off the rest of it. It's okay, I understood what you meant. Like, where are those games going to be in 15 years' time? It's a really serious question I'm asking. Like, where is Fortnite going to be in 15 years' time? These are the games that are resonating among kids this generation, right? So is Call of Duty, so is Minecraft. But where will those games be in 15 years' time? So yeah, that's kind of interesting, I think. But this thing about Nintendo being for kids or whatever else, it's kind of funny really, because the more Sony, like if Sony and Microsoft purely focus on adults, okay, if they purely focus on adults, where will the next generation of gamers be? If they now we all know that kids play adult-rated games. We all know that. You know, I'll send you a friend request later. Oh, thank you so much. Definitely, man. We'll have a game or something. Well, I just think the very fact that Johnny, should I having my Spyro keyboard and mouse on my wall for a gaming? Yeah, man, go for it. Go for it. I'm not very good at giving advice, but go for it. I feel like I should do a proper video maybe tomorrow or some stage, just talking about. And I was trying to do this, just think about how gaming has changed and stuff like that. But it ended up becoming, I don't know, something completely different. It ended up becoming like a show and tell, basically, of the very first video game system and console I played. And I don't know, it didn't become the video I wanted it to become, really, you know. But I don't want to become this like bitter old man talking about. I have 3 gaming mice. Damn. You have a whole. I like how you call it. I like how you call them mice. I love that. I love that. I don't think I actually ever heard anyone referring to more than one like computer mouse as mice. I just think that's funny. I don't know why. No, not in a bad way. I mean that in a good way, by the way. I mean that in a good way. It's funny. All the Fortnite merchandise was bought up in the store. I was hoping for at least a T-shirt. Damn. Yeah, man, that power of Fortnite, man, is huge. But where will it be in 15 years' time, chat? I mean, the merchandise from Mario was selling extremely well in the 90s and the 90s, and it still is to this day. And Super Mario Odyssey, got released last year, or 2017, and it became the highest and fastest selling Mario game in the series. I got a Fortnite sweater for Christmas. I think everyone fucking got a Fortnite something for Christmas, to be honest with you. It's the power of Fortnite. But where will it be in 15 years' time? That is the question. That's the question I'm going to ask. Extreme Interactive, that's my interactive question. Where will Fortnite be in 15 years' time? True, none of these kids play the single player mode. Yeah, but where will it be in 15 years' time? That's the question that I'm going to ask. Where will it be? Will it be up there with Mario in 15 years' time? I don't think so. In the junkyard, thank you. That's where it will be in 15 years' time. Just like fucking E.T. on the Atari. You gotta remember, history has a habit of repeating itself, but in different ways. It's like some sort of fucked up timeline where it's like the same thing but slightly different. Like, there was such thing as a video game crash. Let me give you the history of that video game crash, shall I? Okay, video games basically took over the world, in the arcades. It was huge, and then like Atari started making consoles, and by God, it was a huge thing. But what happened? What happened? Atari got cocky. They got extremely cocky. History can come back and rear-end you. Exactly, and that is exactly what's actually going to happen, in my opinion. I think that these games, basically, get back to what I was saying, the video game crash. It started when Atari got too cocky, and they said, well, you know what, people are going to buy our games no matter what. So we're going to release anything and everything, and people will go out and buy our games, and we'll make a lot of money. And that's what happened with E.T. I don't care what that documentary fucking will have you tell. I've seen the documentary. I don't care about the documentary. You think we're in a video game crash right now with all these big companies failing? I do, and that's what I'm trying to actually talk about here now. Not so much failing, but they will eventually fail. because they're releasing everything and anything, and they're just like, for instance, Fortnite took over the whole world, right? So what if they say, oh, well, you know what, no, we're going to release this Fortnite update. It's going to cost players $70. We're going to give them the exact same game, but we're going to give them a couple of more skins, and we're going to give them a new area of the map. But we're going to charge $70, and everyone's going to go out and buy this game, and we're going to make so much money. And basically what happened again in the video game crash is Atari thought that everyone would go out and buy their games, no matter what. Well, that didn't happen, because they released E.T., and where did E.T. end up? Where did E.T. end up? In the junkyard. In the fucking junkyard. Okay? And that's where games like Fortnite will end up in. And that's where games like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion now, that is where games like Call of Duty will end up, in the junkyard. And they will not be around in 15 years' time. I'm ready to delete Fortnite and put in Doom Eternal. Same here, man. I love the chat. Same here, man. Well, everybody deleted Fortnite anyway, so it's already gone. E.T. Superman 64. Yeah, two of the worst games ever made. No, E.T. ended back. Yeah, I mean, I mean, E.T. You know, E.T. represented a company that got extremely cocky and they thought that their fans would go out and buy that game no matter what. I think we are facing a second video game crash. I really do think we are facing a second video game crash, and it's going to be all these companies who think they can just pretty much do what they want and their fans will accept it. Well, they will soon realise that that is not the case. Do you know right now that Activision are selling you a dot? Yes, you heard that. I know I got 4 viewers watching this stream. Let me repeat that. Activision are selling you a dot right now. An actual dot. That's how bad things have gotten. That's how bad things have gotten. Where Activision are selling you a fucking dot. I don't need to add any more context to that, because there's no need to add any more context to that. Everything I said is true. Everything I said is true. Activision are selling you a dot. There's no sugarcoating that. There is no need to sugarcoat that. There is no need to explain what I mean by that. There's no need to sugarcoat it. It's the truth. Activision are selling you a dot. Again, there's no need for me to sugarcoat that. There's no need for me to justify that. There's no need for me to make that sound any more acceptable. It's not. No matter how you look at it, it's not acceptable. That they are selling you a fucking dot. I mean, if you pay 70 fucking euro, right, for a standard edition, and like 90 fucking euro for a digital edition, you should not be paying money for a fucking dot. If you don't like our game, don't buy it. EA. Yeah, that's pretty much EA. If you don't like our game, don't buy it. You know, that's pretty much. No, that's EA, but it's actually Activision that are getting the full blunt of my rage right now. Even though I'm playing one of the games right now. There's the irony in that, huh? But I don't look at it. I mean, Activision didn't make Spyro. Fuck Activision, like, you know. This is Spyro the Dragon. It was originally made by Insomniac Games. Activision just have the rights to the series, and they've actually tried to bought that develop this remaster. But to be honest with you, like, Spyro is Spyro, and you know what I mean. Like, it's just been remastered. That's all. But yeah. So yeah, in terms of the video game crash, I mean, it's not looking good. You know, I spoke about history repeating itself. It's not looking good when Activision are selling you a fucking dot. That's not looking good for a potential video game crash. You know, it's not looking good at all. It's not looking good at all. But look, if you want to pay for a dot, by all means, go out and pay money for a dot. I'm not going to stop you. You know. EA will take our money. Here's one for you. EA. Oh, what is it? EA Sports. It's not in the game. It's a microtransaction. How about that one? But actually, no, I came across that meme somewhere. Actually, I thought it was actually quite funny. I don't mind microtransactions in general. I don't mind microtransactions. To be honest with you, the one game that I actually have no problem with microtransactions is actually Fortnite. Because the way I look at it, Fortnite is completely free. You can play Fortnite, okay, for free, and you can get the exact same experience as the person who's put €1,000 into it. Because microtransactions in Fortnite is completely cosmetic, and again, the game is free. The game is free, okay? It's not costing you a single cent, you know. And oh God Almighty, when you hear, I'm not even gonna. You know what? I think it's just time that I just get back to. It's an hour and 11 minutes into the stream. I think I'll just end the stream with some Spyro the Dragon gameplay. How about that, everyone? You want to hear me nag, you know, anymore? I don't know why, man. I always end up going back to it. Like I always end up fucking. It's just because I've come to that stage now where I'm no longer the next generation of gaming. You know, that kind of way. Like, I mean, I'm no longer a generation of gaming. Like I'm the past generation of gaming. And I don't know, maybe I just don't like it. Maybe I just don't like that. Maybe I just don't like, you know, transitioning from somebody who was, you know, the next generation, the generation of gaming, and now I'm just I don't know. It's hard to put into words, really. You know, I'm looking at the next generation of gaming, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. And I'm looking at the next generation of gamers, and I don't know how I feel about that. We are the gen of Fortnite playing zombies. You know what? Pretty much. You said it. You said it, my biggest gaming, not me. You said it. But yeah, pretty much. I'm just looking back at a generation of people. I remember being in the yard in school. That's what we used to call it. I mean, you call it the playground, we call it the yard. The yard. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's just an Irish thing or if it's just if it's a worldwide thing. But anyway, I remember being in school as a kid, as a very young kid now, right, in the yard, and I mean, like a circle of people, not even a circle, it was a fucking semicircle, okay, it was like 3 or 4 people. Now, bear in mind, there was like 20 plus people in our class, and when you add that with the amount of other classes that were in the school as well, you're talking about a yard full of like 50 plus people. More, I'm saying more, a lot more, a lot of people anyway, okay? And there's like 3 people standing around, myself and 2 other people, and we're talking about Mortal Kombat, and we're talking about fatalities. Because back then gaming was something that only a few people were a part of. It was something that only a few people did. It wasn't as mainstream as it is now. And we were talking about like Mortal Kombat. And we were talking about like, I did this fatality. Oh my God, what was it? Oh, it was up, down, whatever else. I played the first level of Rage earlier. I loved it. I was playing as Blades. Ah, lovely, man. One of my cholo games as well. Gaming was. It was. Yeah, you're right though. You're right. Yeah, you're so right, my Pix Gaming. You're so, because it really was something, you know, that was special. You know what I mean? Like, whereas now it's like this fat, lazy, middle-aged man sitting on the couch. So it's basically your everyman. Gaming has become your everyman now. It's not, there's nothing special about gaming anymore. There, I've said it. I actually have said it. There's nothing special about gaming anymore. It's now turned into this thing where everyone is doing it, and it's just, yeah, it's just, it doesn't feel special anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's what gaming was when I grew up, you know, about 3 or 4 people, you know, standing around in a yard in school talking about pulling off fatalities in Mortal Kombat, where it's now an entire classroom full of Fortnite heads and How many kills do you have? How many Battle Royale wins did you get? Fucking hell, like, you know. But the thing is, like, whenever I came home from school, I would go out. I would physically leave my house and go out. I saw an article yesterday of this old grandma having 90 hours of Animal Crossing. I seen that actually. That was actually crazy. That was mental. Mental. I probably have more hours clocked in than her actually, to be honest with you. I probably do. I would have to go back and see it, but I probably do have more hours clocked in. I played the shit out of that game. You have no idea. You have no idea. I have played that game so much. I mean, every day of the week I will play that game without fail. Now we have fat single men sitting on their couch playing Fortnite and eating nachos. Exactly. That should be a poster. Like, I should actually make that a poster and just call it gaming in 2019, because that's pretty much what gaming has become now. It's not special. You know, there's nothing. Again, like, Fortnite will not be around in 15 years' time. It just won't be. It won't be a thing. We have games. We have gamers and not streamers. Yeah, I think there's a certain. Yeah, I think that's an interesting point actually. That's an interesting point actually. There seems to be like gamers and streamers, and it's like to me, it's almost like they're two different people. It's like I don't know, man. I just don't know anymore. But I'm definitely seeing so much change in this industry that I grew up in and that I'm passionate about. And I don't know. I just get very vocal about it. I just get very opinionated about it. And it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. And people might like what I have to say, and people might agree with what I have to say. And I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, it's the truth. Like, there's just so much change now in this industry. I don't know if I can get the experience you did. As in what now? As in, like, the kind of experience that I've gotten from playing games. See, that's interesting though that you say that. Like, that's interesting, because I just think the kind of games that were kind of I don't know, the kind of games I think that you might have grew up playing were kind of these. I don't know how to put it. I just don't know how to put it. Yeah, from a young. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, yeah. Like, for instance, when I played Sonic the Hedgehog, I think what's beginning to happen now, I know we're all different. Like, I can only talk about my experience. I really can't speak for people of my generation and their experience, but for me, like, when I first played Sonic the Hedgehog, I didn't even know what Sonic was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what Sega was. I didn't know what a Sega Master System was. I just knew that this console that I was playing was fun, and I knew that Sonic the Hedgehog was a fun game. And that's how it started for me. Now, I know that other people, it would have been different. They might have heard about the Sega Master System. They might have been told that it was a good console or whatever else. I don't know. We have gaming experiences as both kids and adults, old and new joys. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is for me. I mean, I continue to get new experiences in gaming every year, like less than a year. I mean, throughout the year, just, you know, a game would come along and I would say, "Wow, what an amazing game!" Level is just be right back. No problem, my tech experiment. Yeah, I think I should actually make a video, finally make a video about this. And I think I would probably, would call it the change. I don't know. Changing gaming, some kind of shit like that. I don't know. There's a lot of people who feel there actually is. Yeah, I think that's actually what I had to realise. Actually, there's actually a lot of people who feel this way. There's people who don't even play modern consoles anymore. There really is. There's people who just stop playing modern consoles and they stick to the original retro consoles. No, I haven't gotten that far yet. To be honest with you, I haven't put down my PS4 controller or a Switch controller and went back and played a Mega Drive. It hasn't gotten to that stage for me yet. I say yet because it could easily happen. But yeah, Chad, you're right. There are a lot of people out there who feel the same way. So I just don't want to kind of be that person. Like I don't want to be that kind of spiteful, but not spiteful. But I don't want to be that kind of bitter person who's like, fuck modern gaming. I'll just analyse the changes that I've seen. But again, like if I actually did look into it, if I actually did like study, gaming back in the 90s and 80s, I probably would find similar behaviours. I would still probably find, somebody who would play like 2 or 3 games on the NES or some shit. You know what I mean? I would only play Mario and Zelda, but wouldn't play, like Final Fantasy or Metal Gear. That kind of way, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I suppose it's always really been like this, hasn't it? And I was reading an article in a video game magazine. I think it was celebrating 40 years of Space Invaders, and I read some crazy ass shit about that, how that game took over the world. Like the original Space Invaders, or like not, like the one in the arcade, and just how like crazy it was. That game like completely took over the world, and that was before Fortnite. And interestingly enough, and again it's very interesting, history does have a habit of repeating itself. Like Space Invaders isn't really technically still around. Well, it is technically still around to this day, but it's not really relevant, is it? It's not really something that is breaking any sales records, or you know what I mean, or winning Game of the Year or anything like that. Like, but it is still around. But you got to remember, like, that game did start to fade away. That game did start to fade away. So I think that's where Fortnite will be in 15, 20 years time. I think it'll be something that this generation of gamers will remember playing, and it will still be around in some sort of, I don't know, like virtual reality, augmented reality, fucking cybergenetic fucking experience or something in 20 years. I don't know where technology will be in 20 years time. But I think that Fortnite will exist in that type of kind of realm, and I think like the kids of this generation who will be like 30 or 35, so many years later, I think that's what they're going to do. Oh, this is a game I grew up playing. And welcome back, my Pix Gaming. Okay, I'm going to give this level 3 more tries starting now, and then we'll end the stream, because it's really late here in Ireland. It's actually quite funny because it's evening time in America. You see, here in Ireland it's extremely late, so for 3 more attempts, this is the first attempt now, and then we'll call it a night. Oh, wait a second now. Just watched your first Fortnite video. Oh man, that was interesting actually. That was interesting because that I didn't even know what the white line was. Remember that? I was like, there's a white line on the screen. Where do I go? What's happening? It was so funny now. Because that was literally my first time playing Fortnite, so I was like a nun in the brothel. I just was so lost. So I always find that funny. What do you think of the digital versus physical argument? I'll give you a personal take on that, okay? I'll give you a personal take on that. Many times I would go into GameStop, okay, to get a game. And many times I would be told the game hasn't arrived yet, we haven't gotten it in stock, we're probably not going to get it in stock, or else they'll probably say, sorry, what's the name of the game? And I would give them the name of the game, and they would be completely unaware of the game, like, so I'd have to give them the name of the game, and they'd be like, oh no, sorry, you haven't gotten it in yet. Now you have no idea, the amount of times I have experienced that. Once I could actually download my game, once that actually became a reality, once that became something I could actually do, I never had to worry about that ever again. So now what I do is, if after 10 months you got rid of it. Yeah, 10 months of Fortnite, I can't believe it. That's insane. But yeah, once I realised that I could digitally download my games, whenever it came to a stage where I couldn't get a game physically, I would use digital as a backup. So basically, I don't download all of my games. No, physical is my first choice, and physical will always be my first choice. But it's nice to know that I have the option to download my games if they're not in stock. So I think that's kind of where I stand on this whole digital. I wouldn't put it as digital versus physical. I wouldn't do digital versus physical. No, you know what I mean. I just think it's nice to have the option. But apparently, 80% of sales in the UK of video games came from digital, which is that's me gone, which is crazy. Yeah, it's nice having both options. It's fantastic to have both options, especially when you're, when you go into a game store on day of release and you have to tell the employer what the game is. You as the customer have to provide more information to the fucking worker about the game, which I always found as a surreal experience. I really found that surreal. It was just so surreal. I think it's going to get worse now. I think it's going to get extremely worse. I think you're going to have like 16, 17-year-olds working in GameStop now, and they're just so obsessed with Fortnite. Whereas if you go in there and ask them, sorry, can I pre-order Mortal Kombat X? Can you pre-order what? You want Fortnite credit? No. Can I pre-order Mortal Kombat, please? And they're like, what is that game? It's going to get to that stage. But no, you've no idea the amount of times that I've actually had to tell the staff in GameStop more about the game than they can actually provide to me. GameStop is dead when I stopped by today. The GameStop represents. Do you know what? I would put the following into the one basket, and I'm going to give that basket a label afterwards. EA, GameStop, Fortnite, and Black Ops 4. I'm going to put them all into a basket. You know what I'm going to call that basket? Popular. The popular basket. That's what I'm going to call it, the popular basket. I don't mean popular necessarily in terms of sales, I just mean popular. As in, like, this is the popular basket. If you want to be popular, you shop in GameStop. If you want to be popular, you play Black Ops 4, Fortnite, and you buy EA games. I don't know, it's just, they're all so similar, aren't they? Like, I mean, people's experiences in GameStop are pretty similar to people's experiences with EA. And they kind of, I don't know, they just seem the same. Anyway, but so yeah, that's my experience now in GameStop. I would go in there and they wouldn't have the game in stock, or they wouldn't know what the game is. So that was just so annoying. So when I could actually, download my games. I didn't have to worry about this bullshit. Oh, man, it was just so amazing. It's so good to know that you're always covered. You can always go onto your PlayStation Store, your eShop, and you can just download whatever the hell game you want. Yeah, sometimes it might cost more. Again, it's always a last resort for me. Like, it's always a last resort. It's never a first resort for me. Like, if the game is not available physically, I would get it digitally. It's very rare actually that I haven't to put things into perspective. Since because the last console I got was the Switch. The Switch launched in March of 2017. It's now January of 2019, so that's almost 2 years. Almost 2 years on the market, and if I'm not mistaken, I haven't downloaded one single Switch game that is available physically. Obviously, indie games are different. Lord Gabe, summer stream sales are crazy. Sorry, who's Lord Gabe again? I do remember hearing that guy's name before. I think you were telling me about him actually. Sorry, who is he again? Sorry. Lord Gabe, summer stream sales are crazy. But yeah, so the gameplay segment of this stream is pretty much over. I'm just kind of like wrapping up the video now with just chatting to my lovely subscribers. Chad, Mindpix Gaming. Great to have your support as always. Great to have your support as always. Great to have these chats. Like, I think that's what makes. I personally think that's what makes Green Herb Gaming different to to PewDiePie or to anything else, because they always have an agenda. There's always like a team. There's always like, okay, I'm playing a specific game now, and I'm gonna. And also they have, what do they call it? Patreons. I despise that. I fucking despise that shit. I despise Patreons. I despise sponsors so fucking much. Can you imagine if I did that? Steam and PC. He created. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Sorry. Jesus, I actually did not know that. Can you imagine if I actually decided to do? Imagine this, right? I set up patrons and YouTube is not welfare. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine though if I actually had sponsors and patrons, right? And if I literally ignored all of my regular subs and their comments and only highlighted the comments from my patrons and sponsors. Can you imagine if I did that? How would you feel? Like, how would you? I mean, imagine imagine how Pro Chronix Vlogs would feel if I had done that. Because he's one of my earliest. Subscribers. Not just earliest, but like he's been giving me support for a hell of a long time. Green Herb will be Ninja PewDiePie clone. But can you imagine if I did that? Like, can you imagine how my subscribers would feel if I actually completely abandoned them in favor of people who was giving me money? Because that's what these big YouTubers are like. And when they go live on a stream, they only care about making money. They only care about how many patrons they're going to have on the stream and how many sponsors they're going to have and donations and shit like that. Man, it sickens me. It sickens me when I see that shit. It really fucking does sicken me. So I like having these chats, Chad and Mindpix Gaming. I like these chats. I like these, like random, sometimes off-topic chats as well. Like, I like the fact that I can pause this game and forget about Spyro the Dragon for a minute and just have a normal chat. I just like that. And I think that's what I can deliver. That's what Green Hub Gaming can deliver to my subs, to my viewers, that I feel like a lot of YouTubers just simply can't. I think they're just too caught up with what they're doing. They're too caught up with, okay, this is Spyro the Dragon gameplay and I've finished playing the game now, so I'm going to end the stream. No. Okay, I'm not going to end the stream. I'm going to sit here and have a chat with Chad and Mindpix Gaming. Anyone else who wants to join the stream. That's what I'm doing right now, and that's the way it's going to be. And then, so I don't have an agenda. I don't have some kind of I don't write down what I'm going to do in my stream now. That's why I subbed to you. You're original and not a clone. Thank you so much. Not another clone. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that were like, hi guys, welcome to another stream. I'm not like that. And look, I'm not bashing people who are like that either. I'm just saying that's not me. You know what I mean? I will always, to the best of my ability. To the best of my ability, I'll always be me, Definitely will. You know what? I think live streaming is one of the most positive, um, positive innovations in gaming. I really do think it is. When it's utilized in the correct way, I think that live streaming is one of the best things that ever got introduced into modern gaming because it allows gamers all over the world to come together. Whether they're you know the most hardcore gamer, the most casual gamer, an old gamer, a young gamer, gamers coming together. I love it. I lost my job. Give me Patreon donations. Here's my PO box address. Send me free stuff. That's basically new YouTubers. That's basically big YouTubers right there in a nutshell, chat. That's basically what they're like. You know, it's sickening. It actually is sickening. You just see this person's soul just slither away. You know what I mean? In every stream they do, their very soul just slithering away. Their very passion for their art form slithering away. And it's just, oh, it's sickening, really. For me, Green Hub Gaming, and I always say this, it's a place for me to share my passion of video games with the whole world, including you, Chad, and Mindpix Gaming, through these fun live broadcasts. I even put that in my description somewhere. It's in the description on my YouTube channel. I don't know if it's still there, but I put it up there somewhere anyway. And that's what Green Hub Gaming represents to me. And I'm privileged and I'm happy and I am so appreciative of the fact that I have so many subs. And that I can have these regular subs like you, Chad, and Mindpix Gaming, you know, that join the stream and have these chats and share, you know, the same passion I have of video games. You know, like Spyro the Dragon, as I always say, it's, you know, one of my favorite games. It's my childhood game, one of my childhood games, PlayStation classic for me. And to be able to, you know, to go back and to play this game in its remastered glory, and to be able to share the gameplay of that and talk about that game, and get to meet new people is amazing. So I just really think that live streaming is such an amazing innovation in gaming. So with all the crazy kind of, not negative, but all the crazy kind of changes that have been made to gaming, it's nice to have at least one modern thing that's good, that's positive. But yeah, I definitely, to end the stream with this, I will say that, like, I definitely have reached that age where I'm looking back, you know, at the way gaming was, and I'm looking forward to where gaming is going. And I'm kind of stuck in the middle, really. You know, I'm kind of stuck in the middle of where gaming used to be and where gaming is going. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if I feel confident kind of going forward in that industry, you know, if that makes sense. I'm kind of like, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, this is so different, you know, this is so different. Not to say I don't like modern games. I love modern games. I don't know, it's just so different. I just feel like it's kind of like, I feel like gaming is restarting, no pun intended. But I feel like gaming is restarting, and it's like I'm being introduced to gaming all over again. But yeah, I definitely have reached that age. Are you a fan of Star Wars? I'm actually not a fan of Star Wars, I'd be completely honest. But look, what I always say about when I'm asked a question like, are you a fan of Star Wars, or are you a fan of Marvel, or whatever else, the reality is, I know for a fact, I would sit in front of Star Wars, watch it, and I would enjoy it. And in fact, I did see a few Star Wars movies. Actually, I saw two in the cinema. I think I saw, Jesus Christ, what's it called? The first remake, the first Star Wars remake. I saw that in the cinema, and I saw, I don't even fucking know what they're called, but I saw the one where I think it was the last remake. No, it wasn't the last fucking remake, was it? Yeah, I saw a few Star Wars movies anyway, and like I didn't go away saying that they were shit or anything, but I definitely wouldn't be like, I wouldn't classify myself as a Star Wars fan. Is what I'm basically saying. I always give long answers to questions. Sorry, I should become a politician. But at least I answer the question anyway. That's the one thing about me. At least I answer a question, unlike a politician. But yeah, I think as a gamer, I definitely reached that age where I think I'm a lot more aware of gaming, and I think I'm a lot more aware of the changes that have been made to gaming and the changes that are going to be introduced to gaming as we go forward. And I'm just kind of I'm a bit more talkative about it than what I think what I would normally have been. I've just seen so much differences. Like as I spoke like about earlier, the games that I was introduced to growing up in the gaming industry, you know, like Sonic, Mortal Kombat, Mario, Grand Theft Auto, they're all still around. So like when I got okay, so I'm jumping now from the Sega Master System to the PlayStation, which would be about a 5-10 year gap, to be honest with you. I lost interest, not 10 year. I lost interest when the so you know I hate always hate when the comments are kind of like half there. They were just so focused in the PC crowd. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's what Sony and Microsoft are actually trying to do right now. They're actually trying to kind of appeal to the PC. Kind of strange because they're two completely different things. Not just video games, comics and movies as well. Yeah, it's all changing. It's all changing. You're actually, do you know what? You have hit the nail on the head, Chad. You have hit that nail on the head so hard right now. You're so right. You are so right because I look at comics now. I look at comic book movies right now and I see people who I know for a fact did not read comic books growing up. I know that for a fact. They can deny it all they like, but I know that there's people out there who are like, oh, I can't wait to see the new Spider-Man movie. Oh, I can't wait to see a Marvel Avengers. And I can tell you for a fact that these people have never read a fucking comic book in their life. It's why I mostly just talk about Nintendo now. Yeah, man. I'll get to that in a second. But you're so right, though. And movies, because there's so much reboots now in movies. Like the next now is like we had Ghostbusters, and then we're gonna have a reboot of Men in Black. And again, like it's like you just had this mentality of there used to be a time where, you know, comic books were things that a handful of people read, and those handful of people would be so happy when a Marvel movie came out. But now it's become so mainstream. BuzzFeeds and pop cultures don't mix. But yeah, you're so right. I think the entertainment industry as a whole has changed. Definitely. 100%. I mean, you look at rap. Just take rap, for instance, in the music industry. I mean, we have went from like, I'm just going to use Eminem as an example. I'm sorry. We go from Eminem to mumble rap. And that says it all, really. The rap god himself, Eminem, to mumble rap. That's where rap music has gone in the music industry. In the comic book / comic book movie industry, it's become so mainstream now where the whole world, I mean, you're talking about like fucking single mothers, you know, you're talking about soccer moms who are like, oh my god, I can't wait to see the new Marvel Avengers movie. And that's a fact, like I'm not actually exaggerating there. And I really soccer mom, really. So when you went for your job interview as a receptionist, you know, you were reading Spider-Man, really? I don't believe that. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. Like, so everything has become mainstream now. You don't have to be a hardcore comic book fan. to call yourself a Marvel fan anymore. You don't have to, you don't have to be like a hardcore Star Wars fan to be a Star Wars fan anymore. It's bizarre. It's not sounds kind of fucked up, but it's true. A lot of true comic fans hate Captain Marvel, what she represents. Oh, don't talk to me about that. Jesus Christ, bringing politics into fucking everything. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I heard about that actually. I heard about that. So yeah, I think the entire entertainment industry is changing as a whole. But in specific, the video game industry, yeah, definitely has changed. And I've gotten to that age where I'm more aware of these changes now, because like I am not the generation. Like I'm not part of. That's the thing. I'm in the middle. Like I'm part of the past generation of gaming. I'm not part of the next generation of gaming. Do you know that kind of way? I'm kind of caught in the middle, really. I'm at that age now where I'm in the middle. I still play. I will always play games. I don't care where gaming goes. I'll always be a gamer. It's not going to change. I'll always play the games I love. I always play the games that I grew up playing, and that fact will never change ever. Do you know what I mean? We're not part of the sheep. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, we're not part of that sheepish mentality. There is a sheepish mentality in the entertainment industry. You know what I mean? The sheepish mentality of, I'm gonna watch Marvel Avengers because everybody else is, so I got to be sheep. That's what sheep do. That's what sheep do. Sheep look at each other to see what they do, and they copy him. That's what if you study the behavior of sheep, that's how sheep behave. Sheep copy other sheep, and they do what other sheep do. So that's where sheepish mentality comes from. That's where that term comes from. So there's a lot of people who will go to see Marvel Avengers because everybody else is. So that is the sheepish mentality in the comic book / comic book movie industry, the Marvel industry. So that's that. In the music industry, a lot of people will listen to mumble rap because it's everyone else is talking about mumble rap and listening to it. Now, I don't even know if that's a true statement, because I actually think a lot of people hate mumble rap, but that's just an example again of this like sheepish mentality. And as far as video games are concerned, everyone will like people will buy Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Red Dead Redemption 2 because everybody else is playing it. See, what I find interesting though is, is everybody playing Red Dead Redemption 2? Because what I find interesting is a lot of those people will say, oh, I'm not really interested in Nintendo. I'm not really interested in Mario. Funny thing is, Nintendo Switch is the fastest selling console of this generation. That's the funny thing about it. Let's put Lil in our front wrap. Exactly, Lil everything. Lil rap. The interesting thing is that Nintendo Switch is the fastest selling console of this generation. So, by definition, does that not mean that everyone has, that would mean that everyone has a Switch. So why don't you go out and buy a Switch, everyone? And Mario Odyssey has sold I think it was 12 million or something like that. No, that was Super Mario. That was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, sorry. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Again, all these games are on one system. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has sold 5 million copies in less than a week. 5 million in less than a week. So it's kind of an interesting kind of thing where it's basically these people have to hear people around them talk about a game and say they have a game before they'll go out and buy it. It's interesting. Yeah, that is amazing. It's amazing sales stats right there. Like, the Nintendo Switch is the fastest selling console of this generation. I'm not saying it's the best selling console of this generation, the fastest selling console of this generation, because it only released 2 years ago. 2 years in March actually. But it's on par. Like, it's selling the same amount it's selling the same way the PS4 was at the same time. And its games are just absolutely breaking records left, right, and centre. I mean, it's absolutely insane how well these games have sold. Absolutely insane. Yet I don't like. I mean, like it's interesting, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? It's interesting. But yeah, I just think it's the kind of mentality of the sheepish mentality of if somebody else is doing it, I've got to do it. If somebody else has this game, I gotta have it. And it's always been like that. And when you try to confront the person about it, it's look, you might as well be talking to a brick wall because it's just they just don't want to hear it. Because deep down inside, and I mean deep, like I mean deep down inside our consciousness, it's like a subconscious kind of a thing. They know it. They know it's true, and they will 99% of the time they will kind of react very kind of like they'll basically make you out to be the worst person ever by simply bringing that point up. But it is true, like they will only buy it because everybody else is, and that's what it is. It's not down to the fact of I've seen gameplay of it and it looks amazing. And the only way, you know what? I will end the stream actually with this. There's a very interesting way to prove this theory. Very interesting way to prove my theory. Sit down with a person and say, why do you like Call of Duty Black Ops 4? Why do you like this game? What is it about this game that you like? List 3 things that you personally like about this game. And I can guarantee you they will stumble over their words like a drunk nun in a fucking brothel. I am telling you, they will be like, oh, well, it's just good. I don't know, I just like it. It's just good. I don't know what you want me to say. I just think it's a good game. It's fun. They would be stumbling. Whereas if you asked me, this stream has went on for 1 hour and 50, soon to be 53 minutes. If you asked me, what is it that I like about Resident Evil or Animal Crossing, I could be here for another hour and 53 minutes explaining to you every personal reason I like about those games. And I can guarantee you it won't be copy and paste stuff that, you know, IGN will say about Resident Evil. It'll be what Johnny, has to say about Resident Evil. One of the things I like about the story of Resident Evil is how the story transcends from, you would look at Resident Evil and you would think it's about this shady pharmaceutical company called Umbrella conducting, you know, experiments into the T-virus, and it's a zombie apocalypse and it's all about that. No, it's actually not. It's actually about a dying man who can't accept his mortality. That dying man's name is Oswald E. Spencer. He was a dying man who simply was too arrogant to accept his own mortality. So he wanted to find the cure to death. He was that cocky, he wanted to find a cure to death. And himself and his friend, his scientist friend, or both scientists, 2 of his friends, James Marcus and Dr. Ashford, they went to South Africa to find the stairway to heaven. It was a flower, and in that flower contained a virus that could change and alter DNA, the genes basically. And Spencer felt this is going to be, the virus in this flower was going to be what he needed to become immortal, basically. So they took the virus back and they studied it, and that's where the progenitor virus was created. You know, a virus that alters DNA and genes, the shape and form of DNA. And then they set up, the 3 of them set up the Umbrella Corporation as a disguise, as a you know, basically as a way that Spencer himself, Spyro, hello to you. Sorry, the Spyro stream has like ended like 55 minutes ago. I'm like in the middle of a chat talking about Resident Evil right now. This guy is like, what's going on? What I will say is thank you, Spyro, for joining the stream. It is much appreciated. So basically, I'm kind of I'm gonna Chad will fill you in the chat there. Won't you, Chad? You'll fill Spyro in what I'm talking about. um, so they set up the Umbrella Corporation as a disguise for the development of the progenitor virus. So that basically led to the T virus and so on and so forth. Everyone who knows about Resident Evil knows where that went. But Spencer continued to study, the progenitor virus as a way to defeat mortality. And he even went as far as to use this virus to create a new race of humanity, superhumans, where he was going to be the god of this new world. And he'd done that, he wanted to do that by starting the Wesker project, or the Wesker Children project, where he actually authorized the kidnapping of some of the world's most intelligent children. And he injected those children with the progenitor virus. Only 2 survived, Albert and Alex Wesker. And they basically had like superhuman intelligence. Wesker became superhuman strength. But that didn't go very well. But basically, look, the whole story of Resident Evil starts with an old man who simply could not accept his mortality. And that's what I like about the story of Resident Evil. So that went on a bit long, didn't it, Chad? Didn't it, Mindpex Gaming? And Spyro, that's basically, I'm just talking about gaming. I'm just talking about the difference in gaming when I grew up to now. And I feel like if you ask a gamer nowadays, why do you like Call of Duty Black Ops 4? Or why do you like Fortnite? Or why do you like Red Dead Redemption 2? They will just say, oh, I just like it. It's a cool game. It's fun. Why do they say that? Because they don't know why they bought that game. They don't know why they like that game. They just bought it because everyone else buys it. Whereas I just spent almost 10 minutes. I spent almost 10 minutes talking about why I like the story of Resident Evil. And that's me. That is my personal. That was very interesting. Thank you, Chad. And that is basically my take on the story of Resident Evil. And I didn't make it up. Like, it's all true. Like, Oswald E. Spencer is probably one of the most important characters in the entire Resident Evil series. I mean, he is the original founder of the Umbrella Corporation. He plays a huge part in Resident Evil 5. He's not just that guy in the wheelchair that Wesker kills. You know what I mean? There's a lot more depth to this character. So yeah, that was my take on the story of Resident Evil. I could go on. I could talk about the atmosphere of that game. Was one of the things I liked. The original Resident Evil game, that is. Just the overall music, and just really just running around that mansion and just not knowing what was going to pop. No, a lot of people will say that, but I think I'll use the story as my personal reason why I like that game. I could go on, but I won't because it's quite late. But yeah, that's my personal. That's something that I like about Resident Evil, and it's personal to me. So like, yeah, I would like, as I was saying, like you can tell if somebody just bought a game because somebody else bought it by asking them, what is it that you like about that game? Like, can you tell me at least one thing that you like about like Black Ops 4 or Fortnite or Red Dead Redemption 2? What is it about that game that you like? And that isn't copy and paste what the person beside you has said about the game, or what an IGN review has said about the game, or just something so like imagine if someone turned around and said, I like Fortnite because you can do the floss dance, or I like Fortnite because you can play it with your friends. Like, I mean, come on, like, you know what I mean? Like if somebody could tell me something that I did not hear, like something I never actually looked at it like that before. Like I challenge anyone. Right, to discuss the story of Resident Evil like I have. I'm not being cocky, but I challenge anyone out there listening, watching, who would consider themselves a Resident Evil fan. I challenge them to look at the story of the Resident Evil franchise and in the way that I have. Because I do believe that it's a personal way to approach the story, to look at the story of Resident Evil. Because a lot of people would just look at Resident Evil as the game with zombies, the game with the Umbrella Corporation who created those zombies, and it would be that black and white like to them. It would be that, it would be that simple to them. But as the die-hard Resident Evil fan that I am, and as the Resident Evil fan who has played the entire series and read all the documents and really kind of got into the lore of the story, like I know that it's Oswald E. Spencer who plays, and it's not. I mean, a lot of people have said that Albert Wesker plays a huge role in that game, but who is Albert Wesker's daddy, so to speak? Not technically, but Oswald E. Spencer is, because he is the guy who essentially created, as Wesker himself said, manufactured Albert Wesker, and that's Oswald E. Spencer. And it's about the fact that he was dying. He got sick and he was dying, and he's just such an arrogant, cocky man that he just can't simply accept that. He can't accept that fact, and he's like, no, I have to defeat this. I have to be better than this. And he wanted to defeat mortality. So if there was ever a hidden team to take away from Resident Evil, it's the team of we as humans who just simply cannot accept our mortality. And what do we end up becoming? What do we end up becoming when we try to stop the inevitable? When we try to tackle nature itself, when we try to play God, and he literally did try to play God, because he wanted to create a new breed of humanity, and he literally said himself that he wanted to be the God of this new world. But what happens when we try to do this? We become monsters. Hence, zombies. Boom. You know what I mean? I challenge anyone to look at the Resident Evil series like that. And that's why, I just think that's the hidden message, the hidden theme in Resident Evil. It mightn't be like, you know what I mean? But that's what I take away from it. But yeah, so I think that went on a bit longer than it needed to go on, really, didn't it? But there you go. I can go on and I can go on. As I said, I could be here for another 1 hour and 53 minutes discussing why I like Resident Evil. Because that's a game that I genuinely like. It's not a game that everyone around me is playing. It's not a game that's taken over the world. I didn't buy it because everyone else has it. I didn't buy it to fit in. I didn't buy it to be cool. No. In fact, I didn't even buy Resident Evil. It was bought for me. See, that's the thing. That's what's interesting, I think, about me. And don't mean that in a cocky way, by the way, but that's the interesting thing. A lot of my childhood games were bought for me. I didn't make a conscious decision to buy those games. I didn't see those games, everywhere around me, and I didn't hear people talking about those games. A lot of my childhood games were bought for me, including Resident Evil. But when I played it, I really, really, really fell in love with it. Monsters. But yeah, monsters. I mean, I don't know if there's actually a delay in the chat. I don't know if there's a delay in the chat. There could be a delay in the chat. But monsters is what we become when we try to play God, when we try to kind of like do things like defeating our own mortality and stuff like that. So yeah. So where was I? So yeah, I mean, like I genuinely loved this game, and I still do, Resident Evil. And that's why I can go so in depth, as you can tell, as you saw, I can go really in depth and explain why I like this game so much. And I think you can tell if somebody genuinely loves a game, or if someone just has a game because everyone else does, by simply asking them a simple question: what is it about this game that you love? And you can tell if they're making it up. You can tell if they're like, did I make up what I said? Did I just say, it's a scary game, and the puzzles are hard, and I didn't stumble on one word. I didn't stumble on one word. I sat here as comfortable can be, and I spoke about the character of Oswald E. Spencer, which is a pivotal character in the series. I mean, he is the main character in the series. I don't care what anyone says. It's not Jill Valentine. It's not Albert Wesker. You know, it's Oswald E. Spencer. That man is the most important character in the entire, and he still is. He still is. He's dead, and he still is. Even Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 2 remake is coming out, and Oswald E. Spencer will still be the main character because he is the guy who started all this. He is the guy who created all this. He is the guy who went out to South Africa, found the progenitor virus within this plant, founded the Umbrella Corporation, and one thing led to the next. And he is the root of this forest. Think about that. He is the root. He is the seed. He is the seed of this forest. The forest is the Resident Evil series. You know, many different trees. One tree could be the G virus. The other tree could be oh Jesus Christ. Getting her name. The one in Resident Evil 7. The other seed could be Nemesis or whatever fucked up story is going on in the Resident Evil series, but all those trees and all those roots will lead back to one seed that started this forest, and that is, and no pun intended, because Forrest is actually a character from the Resident Evil series, but the one seed that started all this was Oswald E. Spencer. I actually could keep going. I like this. I like talking about Resident Evil because I love that game so much. But yeah, that's my personal story of the Resident Evil series. So maybe I should actually make my next video. I should title it, "What do you like about Fortnite?" And then the next video, "What do you like about," and see what people have to say, because I think it's so easy to be able. I don't know Resident Evil. That's cool. I can sit here for the next 2 hours and tell you about it if you like. Will I? I'm also guessing your channel is completely empty. Yeah, you've got 1 subscriber. You're going to have 2 now. Look at that, you got 2 subscribers. Spyro. I have just subscribed to your channel. See? I'm nice. So, you don't know Resident Evil. That's cool, man. I mean, look, I don't know about a lot of these, weird games that are like appearing out of nowhere all the time. But, yeah. But no problem. So I should round this off. Would you believe what time it is right here in Ireland? It is actually gone 10 to 3 in the morning. It is 2:52 a.m. But I don't have work in the morning. I don't have to go back to work until Tuesday. So I have nothing to do, nowhere to go, so I've no need to go to sleep or go. I could stay up until hours in the morning. But yeah, that's pretty early, isn't it? It's pretty early. But I like this kind of conversation. I like these type of conversation. I know I kind of can go back and forth a lot and stuff, but I don't know. I just think there's a lot of fake people out there. I said it. I've said it. And I'll say it again. I think there is a lot of fake people out there, and I think these people don't even know they're fake. It's like Jesus fucking Christ, I can't think of names now. It's so fucking late. It's like what in the name of fuck? I can't think of his name. What's the, I'll think of it in a second. But it's like a robot not knowing that they're a robot. You know, that kind of way. But I just think there's so much fake people out there. And then there's real people out there. I think there's fake gamers and there's real gamers, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to say here. Sort of been always trying to say, but like, I'd be kind of conscious of offending people or whatever else. To be honest with you, look, if I offend anybody, I think the fact that they get offended is proof that I'm right, to be honest with you. I just feel like there's fake gamers and real gamers, and I think that like somebody who will turn around and say, oh, Black Ops 4 is the greatest game of all time, it's my favourite game of all time, or Red Dead Redemption 2, greatest game ever made, I love that game, my favourite game, the same with Fortnite. I think I can prove in an instant, right, in an instant, that these people are fake, by simply asking them, again, what is it about this game that you like, that you personally like? Because I am telling you, it is true, yeah, I am telling you that these fake gamers, I'm not saying real, there's plenty of real gamers, hold on a second, there's plenty of real gamers out there who genuinely feel that Red Dead Redemption 2 is their favourite game of all time, and those real gamers will be able to sit down beside me and go into the same detail that I went into with Resident Evil about why they like that game so much. But they are fake gamers then. There are fake gamers also out there who would have only bought these games because everybody else had those games and because they wanted to fit in, they wanted to be the cool guy. And I can ask those people, what is it about this game that you like? And they won't be able to answer. They won't be able to give me a definitive reason why. And that's how I know if somebody is a fake gamer. If they can sit there and go into detail and give me a personal reason why they like that game, then they're not a fake gamer. And I know I'm setting this bar here. Like I'm putting this bar up here and I'm saying, okay, you know, if you can go beyond this bar, you're a real gamer, or you're not a fake gamer. I can tell. I can tell that. I can tell that by your name and by your profile picture, Spyro. I see you like Splatoon as well. Good game. But yeah. So you love Spyro? Do you know? I'm gonna test you. Oh, a second. What is your favorite game of all time, Spyro? I'm gonna end the stream by a test. I'm gonna end the stream by a test here now. Yeah, it's been a good stream, even though I feel like I do have to make this. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I need to say that needs to be said, that I need to get off my chest, basically. And once I do that video, and once I get that off my chest, I think I'll be able to kind of like do a proper stream then. I need to set up a profile picture. Yeah, I think it took me a long time to actually set up a profile picture actually myself. I used to have a green herb. I used to literally have a green herb. Okay. Cool. Is that a game, Spyro? I'm not being smart. No. I asked you, what is your favourite game, Spyro? What's your favourite game of all time? So yeah, it has been a good stream, but I do plan on making a stream / video tomorrow. Spyro, okay. What is it about Spyro that you love? You knew I was going to this one, didn't you? You knew I was going to do it. You knew I was going to do it, didn't you? You don't have to give me multiple reasons. I don't need to make any harder than it is. So, I'm just lazy setting up stuff. Same here, man. Same here. So Spyro, the guy who loves Spyro so much he named himself Spyro twice, and has a Spyro profile picture on YouTube. What is it about this game that you, and as you said, you love Spyro, it's your favorite game. Spyro's cute. I love the charm in the game. You like the, okay? I will leave you alone. You have passed the test, because I can't physically see you, so I don't know, like, but I think that's a good reason why, yeah. That's a good reason why. I mean, that's if that isn't a good reason to like Spyro, I don't know what is, because he is cute. And I think you meant charm. Did you mean charm? Yeah, I was thinking that. He does have a charm. Yeah, you passed the test, Spyro. You passed the test, and even if you are being fake right now, you did a very good job on it. So I'll even thank you for that if you are being fake. I'm only joking. I'm not picking on you. I just it's just such a fucked up. It's okay. It's a good game. It's a great game. It's a great game. You passed the test, Spyro. Just don't take no notice of me. It's just I need to do a video, and I need to just get all this out of my system. And once I get all this out of my system, I bought these grips for the Switch in handheld mode. Oh, they can be handy too. They can be handy. Just be careful when you're buying third-party equipment. To just be careful what you're buying, basically, because there can be a lot of third-party equipment that can damage your Switch as well, like, and stuff. So just be careful of what you buy. And if you see the seal of quality from Nintendo, you're sorted, because you know it's been approved by Nintendo. But just be careful of what you buy third-party wise. But yeah, I definitely need to upload a video tomorrow. I don't care what's happening tomorrow. I don't care if the fucking world itself ends tomorrow. I need to make a video tomorrow. I don't care what's happening around me. I don't care what the fuck is going on around me. Tomorrow I will be doing a stream. What's the best multiplayer? What's the best? I read that completely wrong. What's the best emulation settings to display the Sega Mega Drive collection? Oh man, I would say do the what you call it, there's this scan lines. I think it's the very bottom one. You go down and there's this option to choose scan lines. Turn on scan lines and turn off the other emulators. So turn off all the emulators, but activate scan lines, because what that does is it basically presents the game the way that it would look like on an old TV, which I think is great. If that isn't your thing and you want to see the game looking the best that it's ever looked, there's a I forget what it's called now, but there's a setting that says how the game would look like in its original art form. So make sure you read the description. I can't remember the exact emulator, because some of those things are really confusing, like VGX or whatever the hell they're called. But it's a emulator that basically says that this is how the game would look like in its original art form. So if that's your thing, if you want the game to look better than it ever did, there's your emulator. If you want to see the game looking like it did on Sega Mega Drive, then I would turn off the emulators and activate scan lines. So oh man, do you know when I get like this, I just get into a real talk with them. If I really wanted to, like, and part of me actually does, to be honest with you, if I really wanted to, I could literally sit here for another 2 hours. No problem, Chad. I could literally sit here for another 2 hours and I could just keep talking, because I just feel like I'm in that kind of a mood, like, where I'm just like, I don't know, I just feel like I just want to keep talking. And it's at the same time though, I think the reason why I keep talking is it's frustrating. I feel like there's a point I want to get across that's inside of me. It's on my mind, it's on my chest, and it's something I need to kind of get out, and I can't seem to articulate SPY. I can't seem to articulate what I actually want to say. And I feel like when I do say it, I feel like I'm being offensive, and I feel like I'm being salty and I'm being toxic. And I don't want to be. And it's frustrating. But it's basically, I want to make a point about how gaming has changed, basically. I see Hyrule Warriors and Octopath Traveler on sale for 40. Yeah, they've some great sales right now on the eShop. Great sales. Oh yeah, I mean about Nintendo that you were talking about. Jesus, it was a good long time ago. I know it was about an hour ago, I'm sure. I think you were talking about just how the other companies have changed, and Nintendo have changed, but I think they've changed in a way that people wanted them to change, for a long time. I think one of the biggest changes that Nintendo have made is they have actually listened. They've listened to both their fans and they've listened to third parties. Sonic Mania 15 and Shovel Knight 20, man, two great platformers there. It's amazing offer. So I think tomorrow now I'll do that stream. I was thinking the other day of doing it, like calling a gaming den now and forever. Steal WWE's catchphrase. I still don't know what to title it, but I do feel like I want to do that video, and I don't know. I don't know how to word it. Like, I just don't know how to word it, but I just feel like gaming is just something that's it's different. It's different. Like, it's different. But maybe it's always been like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a real hardcore gamer, because you can have a real gamer and a fake gamer, but you can also have a hardcore gamer and a real hardcore gamer. And I feel like I'm a real hardcore gamer. It's just so much has changed, like in gaming. The fact that I can sit here for 10 minutes and talk about the story of Resident Evil in a way that a lot of Resident Evil fans wouldn't even have looked at it. Like, I look at the Resident Evil comment section, like on YouTube or Facebook or whatever else, and you see these fans of people who remember playing the games back in the day, whatever else, but they talk about other things. Like, they might talk about like the specific section of the game or whatever else. But I think for me, story has always been something that I've loved in games, particularly when it comes to Resident Evil. Story has always been something that I like a lot in the series. So yeah, so my unique way of looking at that story, I think, is proof. Not that I have to prove anything, but is just my way of kind of I don't know. That's my way of liking Resident Evil in a personal way. The fact that I can look at that story. When did you stop watching WWE? Oh man, probably fully stopped watching wrestling. I would say probably about, let me see, probably about a year ago. Like, when I fully just straight out stopped watching wrestling. Probably about a year ago, yeah. When I just completely stopped. Because there'd be a time where I'd watch the pay-per-views, or I'd probably like watch an episode of Raw or SmackDown or whatever else. But I think fully stopping wrestling probably about a year ago, yeah. When I decided to just completely just stop it, like, completely, yeah. But it was kind of it was in the process for a long time, like for a long time. I think it started to happen when basically my TV package is a fucked up package. Basically, if you want to watch wrestling, you have to basically subscribe to a sports package, which is a complete waste of money, because wrestling is only on one sports channel. Of course, you can't just get that one sports channel. You've got to get all the sports channels, which costs money. It was costing too much money, and basically a decision was made where the sports channels were removed, basically. Spyro. And yeah, so it was funny because I didn't really care. Like, there was me not watching wrestling anymore, and I really kind of realized that I didn't actually care. But then I got the channels back up and running again, and I started watching wrestling a bit more then. But I don't know. I think I don't know. Then I basically removed the channels again, I think, and then I went back and watched it, right? But I actually could watch it for free because that's when you had all the streaming services like fucking things. And fucking yeah, I mean, I could watch wrestling for free, and I wasn't even watching it, like. So I think the way fact that I had the option to watch wrestling for free, I didn't watch it, was just when I realized, yeah, I just not a wrestling fan anymore, kind of a thing. But yeah, Jesus Christ, I just fucking I need to stop talking. I need to end the stream, get some sleep. It's on stage tomorrow because I'm not working tomorrow. I've nothing planned for tomorrow. I don't care what's happening around me tomorrow. I don't have to go to work, so as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to do anything tomorrow. So I will be doing a stream tomorrow, and I really won't care what the title of the stream is. I don't even know what I'm going to say in it, but it's basically I need to get a lot of shit out of my chest and just basically talk about the changes that I've noticed in gaming. Get that out of my system, because once something is on my mind, once something is in my system, you know, it's like a bug. It's like having a stomach bug or something like that. You just have to, you know, you gotta get it out of your system before you can kind of get back to normal. I feel like I do a stream. I do a Spyro stream, or I do a Mortal Kombat stream. I do a whatever stream, and I feel like the first 20 minutes, the first 30 minutes into the stream is like the game, and then this thing that's festering away at me sweeps into the stream, and it just takes over the whole fucking stream then. So if I don't get this out, no, it'll fucking never get out. So, and to be honest with you, I really, in all due respect, and this is going to sound stupid now, it's going to sound hypocritical, it's going to sound ironic really, but I mean, with all due respect, I don't care who I offend in this stream that I'm going to make tomorrow. I'm going to say it as it is. I'm going to say it as I see it. I'm going to call it as I see it. And, you know, people will either agree with me or people will be annoyed with me, but whatever. So, Jesus Christ, that was this long stream. So I hope everyone enjoyed the stream, including Chad Middleton. Aidan, was Aidan here? This is how fucking long it's been. I don't even know. Was that this stream or the last stream? I don't know. Jesus Christ, I don't know if Aidan was actually on this stream. I have absolutely no idea. I've literally no idea. But nonetheless, anyway, shout out to Aidan and to everyone who watched this stream. I know there was Jesus Christ, what was his name? Fucking thing. Nooblitz. It's a random name. And of course, Spyro. The guy who likes Spyro so much, he has a profile picture of it and named Spyro twice. And a shout out to some of my lovely subscribers. Pro Chronix Vlogs, please subscribe to Pro Chronix Vlogs, or I will track you down and kill you. Subscribe to L4 Electricity Kid, Epic Kid 23, DLA, Mindpix Gaming, or Mind Picks Gaming. Yeah, subscribe to Mind Picks Gaming, please. Yeah, I'm just completely fucking worn out. I am tired. I need to get some sleep. I can't even talk right now. So thank everyone who watched the stream. Stay tuned for tomorrow's stream, and the rest of you have a nice evening. But it's fucking in the early mornings here in Ireland, so I'm going to get some sleep. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.